Yo guys, how are you doing, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're doing 12 things that you should stop doing in FIFA 22. And no, don't say don't play the game, because you will play it anyway. These are some tips that I get on my Twitch live streams, which is down below if you want to go check me out. And this video is a collection of quite a few questions that I get along my way on my streams that I thought I'll do for a video, which could maybe help out one or two people that's watching this right now. So tell me down below in comments if there's one thing that you should do or should not do. Tell me what would you recommend, and don't say don't use Kimbembe, because we already know people keep using him anyway. And also, if you're new, subscribe, it means a lot. And also, let's try and hit 1,000 likes. Let's just keep it nice and simple. And are you ready? Let's go. The cheapest and most reliable coins on the market, go down to u7buy.com, link is down below in description, and make sure to use code Vizeh at checkout for 5% off. Number one here, so this is a must. I can't emphasize this enough for you guys. And I guess this is specific because people don't have a new gen console, but if you do play on a PS5 or Xbox Series X, I urge you to not play on the Xbox Series X version of FIFA and to play the FIFA 22 Xbox One version of FIFA. In theory, the old gen version. Now, you may say, that sounds dumb. Why would I buy a new gen console to not play on a new gen game? And I gotta tell you, if you don't really care that much about having smoother gameplay and more responsive gameplay, then feel free for the extra added bonus of the animations, hypermotion, all that good stuff. If you play career mode, great. Play on a new gen version of FIFA. If you're going to go play FUT, if you want to just risk having a less responsive experience for a bit more of a more immersive experience, then feel free to be my guest. But I feel like if you're specifically an FUT player, you got to just bin off the new gen version and play an old gen. I have said this since the first 2-3 weeks. People had a go at me saying that I'm playing the game wrong or something. But I'm telling you, man, the game is much more responsive. The dribbling, the passing, the shooting, I just feel a difference on the old gen version of FIFA, and a lot of people do. And of course, if you're still on PS4 or there's Xbox One, then this doesn't really mean much to you, so we'll move on. Number two is a question that I get all the time when I'm on FIFA. When I'm playing a game, I always, once or twice a game, I always get this question, and that is, what is your camera angle? What is your camera settings? Now, I'll show you on the screen the angle that I play, and people, I don't know why, but they see it and they're like, oh, okay, what's that? You know, maybe they like the look of it. And it's very simple. I'll just show you right here. It is just camera, and on multiplayer, it is co-op with custom with 20 height and 0 zoom. So it is as high as it possibly can be and as far away as it possibly can be. Okay, I like this angle so much more. I guess it takes you maybe a few games to kind of adjust to it because you're so high above, but I love this angle because you can actually see the full pitch in the maximum case that you can in the game anyway, unless you have some mad widescreen monitor. If with most people have a normal monitor, this is the best way to see the entire pitch and to see from top to bottom. I think this is the best angle to see possibly everything, and also I prefer it for one main thing, and that is easy to try and tell what gaps are actually available. So for through ball opportunities, you can actually see how much space they actually are, you know, to the defender from this angle, because you can see above them. When it's from the other angle, you kind of look at it from the side, you can't really tell, are they that close behind them or they're just too tight, and you would just make a through ball knowing that it will be intercepted. Well, I say intercepted, sometimes it won't, because the game is a game. However, this is, for me, the best camera angle. You see the full pitch, and you could easily tell what lanes are available at the time. So, there you go. One more thing that I gotta say as well, you've got to do this in your HUD. This is what I see happen to people that's maybe a bit more of a lower level. You know, they're in, like, you know, maybe qualify for champs. You gotta change your player HUD. So your player name and indicator, as you can see here, usually when you go on it, it'll just say player name bar, and essentially this just gives you the gamer tag of your opponent. However, you've got to change it to player name and indicator and just select player name, so it tells you of who's on the ball, who it is. It just says above the name, you know, if you got Ronaldo, it says Ronaldo. If you got I don't know, Mbappe, says Mbappe, right? This is important because you may think it's a dumb thing, but I see people get the ball of a player and kind of just forget who it is. Sometimes you don't have enough time to actually look down to the bottom left, bottom right to see who's actually on the ball. And you may say, yeah, but like they could just see who it is. You know, if it's some guy that's bulky, they can tell by the size and shape of them that it's a certain player. And I guess that could be true if you play with your team all the time. But what if you change your team on a regular occasion? You always get new players. Sometimes you just forget who it is. And not realizing which player's on the ball in a shooting opportunity means that you may shoot on their weaker foot than on their strong foot because you just forgot who it was. And one last thing while I'm here, this is for people that gets a lot of annoyance from the game being a laggy, a speed up lag, delay in your gameplay. I've been told this when I've been on stream to try this out, and I've noticed a difference. I actually have noticed a difference, and it may sound really dumb, but hear me out, okay? If you notice delayed gameplay, if you notice a bit of speed up lag, I'll recommend to try this out, and that is to go into your visual in your game settings and go down to connection monitoring, input delay, and just turn it off, okay? Scrolling lineups, just turn it off. What this is on the top of your screen when it has like the ping symbol and also the red bars, it turns it off completely, and it does two things. Number one, if you just see that on top of your screen, it goes to red or orange, it just gives you a bad vibe, it makes you anxious, it makes you try to rush attacks. If you can't see it, it's not in your mind. It's almost like a placebo effect. If you can't see what the gameplay is, if you can't see what the ping is, then you don't have to worry about, okay, is it bad gameplay or not. It's half a placebo, and also other half, because the game isn't consistently showing you what the gameplay is the entire time, because it's not trying to get the information midway through the game consistently. It doesn't stress a server, or not server, but the current game that you're in right now. And I notice a bit more of a difference that I don't get as many delayed games. Okay, again, one more time in the gameplay settings. I think it's the last one, okay? Let me just make sure that we get all these done, okay? If you play career mode, this is specifically career mode, you've got to play with sliders, man. You've got to play with sliders. You've got to mess around with these. If you don't know what sliders to use, now I say go on YouTube, go and just type up FIFA 22 best sliders. If you want to go play career mode at the absolute best, just type up FIFA 22 sliders. I believe my boy Cutsy probably has a video on it. It makes it feel a lot more realistic, maybe not as OP in some areas that the AI could just be too dumb with how fast and how accurate their passes can be. So I'm gonna say stop playing without any sliders, okay? You've got to do it. Okay, here we go. Number 6, I gotta tell you guys, you've got to try this out at some stage. If you feel like you're getting a bit bored of FIFA, that it's not really the same as what it used to be, blah, 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 all that normal stuff that we all feel at some stage, right? That we get a bit kind of worn out, burnt out. I urge you, if you can, if you know anyone, try out not just Pro Clubs, okay? Pro Clubs with your friends, you play it, you make a new team, you play 3-4 games, someone gets annoyed, then you don't touch the team again forever. I urge you all, try VFL, try VPL, just look up, just type up FIFA 22 Pro Clubs Competitive Leagues. VFL is the main one that everyone knows, it's the biggest one. I even played in VFL a lot back in FIFA 19 and 20. I played for a team called like VFL, like Sheffield Wednesday. We won the league in the top division. It's really cool. If you don't know what it is, it's basically you play for a real life team, you know, you could play for Doncaster Rovers or play for Liverpool or whatever else, and you have your own leagues in a league system like English football, and you also get it for French football and German Bundesliga, and there's also Champions Leagues, and then there's also World Cups. You can play as your virtual pro in strip positions in 11v11 games, and I can't tell you how much this just kind of makes you realize how fun, how just intense Pro Clubs can be, and it kind of makes you realize, wow, this should be the esport of FIFA. FUT scenario, you only control one player. Okay, it feels a lot of like a random game. With VFL, it's 11v11. Everyone controls position. Everyone marks out players. Everyone tries to beat the other team, and whoever can defend as a unit, the better. It actually takes teamwork. It actually takes some sort of, you know, skill. The skill gap is actually a big thing because it's 11 people against 11. If you have never tried VFL or any of these Pro Club competitive leagues, I urge you, please, I'll put a link down below, and if you can try and find some sort of community, there's Discords, there's always Discords. I cannot tell you enough. If you get bored of the game, this will open your eyes. This will likely give you a new lease of life, and I guarantee that you'll love it once you find a good group of lads. Okay, so it's now time to go over on FUT, things that I say that you should just not do in FUT. So number 1, let's just keep it nice and simple, nice and easy, okay? We'll go to the stadium. I'm going to tell every single fucking one of you, okay? I don't care if you're the Pope, I don't care if you're Gandhi. Please do not use green lines, okay? I got fire lines. If you're going to use lines on the pitch, please use at least bright, and I mean bright color lines. I use fire. I could get away with that. I can see it clearly on the pitch. Don't use red. I can barely see it. And don't use green. For the love of God. Gold you can barely even see. If I can't see the lines clearly on your other end of the pitch, do not use it, okay? And to be fair, just use the normal lines. Just use white lines. That's fine, okay? One thing that I urge you guys to do, please, for the love of God, do not play this game at 6 o'clock UK time. Just no matter what you do, you can go in the servers and open packs and SBCs, that's fine. But love of God, do not try and play this game around 6 o'clock UK time. You will just have a horrible, horrible experience. Next up, number 9, I believe. And I'm just gonna say this now. Just don't play foot draft. Do not play foot draft, okay? It is a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. You never get anything good. I don't get how I see these YouTubers do these drafted glories. I don't get how they do it. You never get good packs. And if you do get decent packs, you'll still get nothing out of it anyway, because guess what? 15k is actually a lot of money, okay? Because most players in this market is worth nothing. Odds are you're going to get like 2 5k packs and 2 25k packs, because that's what I always get every single time since ever that I always try to do a foot draft. And let's say you do get something decent, like a 50k pack and a 5k, I think that's a thing. Yeah, just bang average each time. I don't get how people even attempt to make money off this. So I just say, just don't bother. All right, so this one is for the investors, right? The investors, you guys, man, okay, if you do, this is just a rule of thumb, man, okay? If you do any investing, okay, do not wait until you can see them actually in the new promo, okay? If you're investing for informs, if you're investing for any sort of promo card, okay, just love of God, do not invest heavily in a player and then wait until they may or may not be needed to then sell them, okay? Sell them in the hype. Number 1 rule of any investing, sell them in the hype. Selling them in the hype just guarantees that you'll make money. Now you may say, yeah, but you can make more money if it does work, and it is needed for this SBC, or it is needed for this sort of link to this brand new promo card. I get that, you could be saying that, but odds are you're probably going to be making a lot more money consistently, time after time, by just selling in a hype, other than just waiting. Because if you do wait and he's not needed, or people over-invest, like a lot of people do, okay, maybe the player is actually in Team of the Week, but because everyone has the same player, and you've got tons of them in the club, they just flood the market of the same card, and it just means that they actually end up going down in price, because people so heavily invest. I don't invest anymore with this game, because most of the time, it just doesn't work out, because every single person has the same idea. Number 11 here. Okay, let's go into friendlies, and this is just a general rule of thumb to anyone that's trying to play friendlies. Just do golden goal. It saves you time. It saves your opponent time. Everyone is happy. Maybe in a situation where your opponent has the same idea and you keep on facing the same guy. Okay, maybe you guys can go back and forth, send an Xbox message and be like, yo, just keep going. Let's try and help each other out. And that's great. I've done that before, and it's a great feeling where the community actually comes together and we help out each other, right? So if you're doing an objective which requires you to do these certain objectives, please just do golden goal. Let's say for Headlanders Felipe Anderson, the Headlanders Challenge objective, just do golden goal, man. It makes your life a lot easier, man. And last but not least, the final thing that I would say to you guys is, don't get so trigger happy for any of these party bag SBCs that they drop. If you have got a lot of fodder in your club, feel free and do it, okay? If you have no interest of whatever icons are out at the moment, okay? You have no interest of whatever players out at the time that you can maybe get, like, if you have no interest in any of that, then sure, go do a party bag, go do a mid-icon upgrade. But if you are spending, like, let's say for example, I've not got much in my club. I've got maybe 3-4 pieces of decent fodder. It makes no sense for me to go try and do this icon pack. And I've got 300k. So in theory, I can just go and do it. And I see people just kind of just see any party bag, any icon pack, and just rinse their club, because these coins, 300k, that's a lot. That's a lot of goddamn money. That could get you a lot of good players. So I'm just kind of just keeping it. And I see people just rinse their clubs and then have nothing, then realize that they can't actually do much. They're going to play more and more and grind after the game. Or, worst case scenario, put in points. Now, putting in points in the game could be a point of it itself, but you guys already know that you shouldn't really do it, unless if you whack on 2.2k once every month or something, like, you just kind of just get bored and you think, I'll put £14 on. If you put 14 quid's worth every couple of weeks, I don't think that's the biggest thing in the world. I don't think that's the worst case scenario. It's more for people that puts, you know, a 12k or 4.6k every single weekend for a brand new promo, and they just can't stop. So there you go, boys. That is 12 FIFA 22 things that you should stop doing. Tell me down below in the comments if this has helped out at all. There must be one thing that can maybe help someone out. If any of your fellow teams are watching, you need a winger, I'm down. If you guys did enjoy, smash a like button, also subscribe if you're new. See you guys next time for another video. Stay safe.